Hello, it's Giant Tank 1400, and today I'm going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, this comes off my most recent experience with Yu-Gi-Oh! Where I played the Duelist Cup and Master Duel, that is December of 2025, and this is just more reason, more fuel to the fire, if you will, why I dislike combo decks or combo slop so much, where they just special summon, search a card that special summons, that searches a card, that also special summons, that searches a card. It is lazy design and it is ridiculous how much card advantage you can get from like a single card in Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays. And it also creates this huge issue where going first is just so powerful in Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays. It's just so terrible because, like, as you can see on screen, I play like a hand trap deck. And the whole reason I play this hand trap deck is because I got sick and tired of waiting on people's combos. I used to be completely against hand traps, and now I'm like, that's the only way I'll play the game is if I have like a hand trap deck because it is just ridiculous going second against these decks. Like if you don't stop them, some of these end boards can like turn skip you. Sometimes they can like these end boards are just unbreakable kind of thing. It's just ridiculous. And the whole thing of them combining powerful Yu-Gi-Oh archetypes together, powerful engines together, it has just gone way too far. And the end boards have just become way too powerful, and it's just become too hard to stop with like normal hand traps. Or the Automat Raizo deck was just like ridiculous. It just, in that one deck, it just emphasizes everything I hate about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just special summon, search another card that special summons and searches, and then put on repeat until all your hard ones per turns are done. Not to mention, you can search with some of those rank 4s as well. I mean, I don't know. This video is going to be more than a rant than anything else. I just think one or two things have to happen. Either Yu-Gi-Oh! Really needs to like be more creative with its card design and stop creating so many monsters that special summon and search. Now, normal summoning and searching is fine as long as it's not a deck like Flu that normal summons all the time or whatever. There's way too many cards in the game that search on special summon. And the way those cards special summon is just way too easy. It's just ridiculous when decks can go like +8 in card advantage. I found it very frustrating. Frustrating to play against combo decks. I mean, it's like a lose-lose, right? Either you completely stop the combo deck from doing anything, which means they don't get to play, or the combo deck just completely breezes through all your hand traps and creates an unbreakable board and you don't get to play. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is supposed to be a two-player game. It's not supposed to be a solitaire game. Konami, please stop creating cards that make it into a solitaire game. Basically, Konami has two solutions. Either they can really dial back the power level and errata a lot of cards that special summon and search and have them search in the end phase or something like that. Or they can ban them, of course. Or the other option is that they need to create like 90 plus cards that they print from now on, being able to activate turn 0. Now, that being aside, the games I did enjoy, like Draco Tail was playing against him was actually pretty fun. It did have like a positive win made against me, and I had to put in Retaliating C. Even games when I used that card, even games when I didn't draw that card or whatever, games with Draco Tail were still fun. Win or lose, they were still like fun games for the most part. I mean, every once in a while, like someone bricks and you have a non-game, but at least it wasn't against the combo decks, which were pretty much like all non-games. Either like I stopped them, which to me was like actually very interactive because I was able to stop them and using my hand traps properly, especially against Malice, because I know how that deck works. I know people hate Malice, and honestly, Dormouse and Whitebinder are both cards that just need to be banned. They're horrible card design. I think both of them do. I think the rest of the Malice cards are probably fine. But honestly, I had a worse time against the Raizio Onomat deck. And then there was like Mitsuel too that just prints cards by tributing their own monsters, and there's not a good way to interact with that with normal hand traps. So that was like a tough time for me, but I still like tried to play. And Nib, of course, like activates all their effects and they get searches, but sometimes I was able to win. I didn't do good, and I don't claim to be like a great player or anything like that, but it's just like frustrating the amount of card advantage these combo decks can get. And I know like Draco Tail can get a lot of card advantage too, but there are like a lot of hand traps that can stop that. Like Effect Veiler, for instance, or Imperm can just stop them from getting their monsters back. And against the traps are actually probably too fair because you can just Ash or Bell any of the traps and it just negates them. Now, Luna Light, one of the interesting things about that was I added Kuikara like very late. I never actually played a Luna Light with this card. I added this for Lunalight. Basically, the idea is that if I can summon 4 monsters, I threaten Underworld Goddess, so they have to use their effect. And when they use their effect, I'll probably have Sangan over to the Black Forest to search Kudakari, and then I special summon Kudakari. It doesn't win me the duel, but it does get rid of that Lunalight Laga Dancer monster. And if you're wondering, oh, they summoned 2, they were never able to summon 2 against my deck because it's a hand trap deck. They're not going to be able to. But they were able to summon 1 every time. I think I won 1 game where I stopped them. Overall, I am happy with this deck. I did make some changes. I had Branded Beast in there for quite a while instead of the Kurakara, which it helps in some like really grindy games where they would destroy Branded Regain and I would get it back and stuff like that. It did win me a few games, but the amount of times I drew Branded Beast and it did nothing was just too much for me. And I don't want to add Kurakara as another brick. I need to remove a brick in order for me to do that. The Silhouette Rabbit and Silhouette Trick was a really actually helped out a lot. And the main way I would use this card in 2 ways. One, if I got like maxed eat of Fuvud to give him one last draw, I would just go Silhouette Rabbit and then Silhouette Trick. Or I would use it in grind. I guess 3 ways. I would use it in like grind games where like we're both running out of resources and I just need 1 extra push. And then the third way I would use it is against the Odeon deck, which it's interesting because Odeon would have like a way to stop this too, but only if they had the 1 trap card that negates already set. Otherwise, this card was just like Silhouette Rabbit was just the bane of Odeon's existence if they didn't already have that. And if they did have it, they would have to negate this. It would basically force them to negate this. Then if they negated it, I could just link it away into SP or something. I use Silhouette Trick over Angel Statue because Silhouette Trick is better against summons that create chains, which the deck I was struggling with really early on was Dracotail because I did not know how that deck worked. I read the cards and everything, but I didn't understand how the deck worked until I learned it. So because of that, I added Silhouette Trick. The Angel Statue, of course, is better against like Malice and stuff, but it's also presented there. And Silhouette Trick is a well-designed card. It's too balanced, I would say, but a lot of times it gave me that extra push and like it gave me something where I wouldn't have like anything. And it prevented like another draw from Max C or Fuva or something like that because I went to Silhouette Rabbit instead of going for Anaconda and then DPE. So it definitely had its use, and it definitely had its use for like giving me that extra push because there were times because I got into like a ton of grind games with like Dracotail and like the Odeon deck and like Blue Eyes and like other decks. And there were just times where I was just like out of resources. Like they already dealt with DPE, they already dealt with one of my SPs and stuff. Like there were just times I was out of and I just needed that 1 extra push, and it just helped. Anyway, this video went on long enough. Sorry for like the rant. I did have an okay time overall, but thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye.